Namaste beautiful yogis. Today we're doing a video called Assumptions About Me. It is trending right now on YouTube. Everybody is doing it and I wanted to do it so that I can build up a little bit of the get to know me type of content on this channel. So I took screenshots of the assumptions. I asked you about 3 weeks ago, so I'm a little bit late with it, but better late than never. So let's go with the first assumption. My assumption is that you do yoga every day and eat 100% vegan and clean, and you're what I would want to be as a mom. And I do yoga every day. That is pretty much true. Sometimes I skip, but it's not very common. I always do something. I feel better when I do something. If I'm tired, it will be very mild. But I overall have a steady energy, and my tired days still I do something. Sometimes I would skip, but it's not very common. It's not really common. I had to skip after I gave birth, and that also felt fine. So I go with the flow, but overall I do yoga every single day, or HIIT training, and I do less than what you think I do. I usually do a little bit so that I feel good, and I just use movement as a way to balance my emotions, my mind, and my body. Not just my body, but it's really it's almost like eating and brushing my teeth and so forth. It's just a necessity, and I don't necessarily go for a heavy session every single day. I just do something every day pretty much, and sometimes if I have to skip, if I'm busy or something, it happens, but overall I do yoga every day. As for being a mom that you would want to be one day, I'm not so sure about that, because I try my best, but none of us is perfect. I don't consider myself perfect by all means, and I strive to give as much of myself selflessly as I can, and to be a better mom every single day. But it's not always, you can't always be perfect, and there is always room for improvement. There is always perfect moms out there, especially on Instagram, and you always wonder how are they doing it, and you are so human. But overall, yeah, I think we all, once the hormones kick in, we all do as much as we can. We do our best, and I don't know what to say about it. It's motherhood is such a blessing, such a beautiful experience, but it also charges you on, it tests you on so many levels, because you really have to open a new chapter in your life and basically say goodbye to the person you used to be, because there is a new level of you that needs to express itself, and it's not always easy. It's not easy, and I have definitely room for improvement, or I always try to grow. I never imagined myself as a mom, actually. It wasn't one of those things that when I was little I thought I would be a mom. So it wasn't on my radar, and I definitely am surprising myself with even the fact that I'm motherly, because I've never quite been a motherly person, if you know what I mean. I'm not a very nurturing person. I may be nurturing at my job, but in my personal life, I don't necessarily view myself as a nurturing, feminine person. I don't know, this is a big subject. Let's move on before it takes forever. The next assumption: you probably don't let Lottie watch TV or videos, and you think that most Americans are dumb, because sadly as a society I think we are. Hope these are not taken the wrong way. You might go wrong. So no, definitely it's not taken the wrong way. Thank you for your assumption, and I definitely don't think that all Americans are dumb. Now, my experience of Americans is mostly, or almost exclusively, LA, and I used to work, as far as meeting new people, I used to work in the general Hollywood area and around the beach. So I've met a lot of creative people and talented people, musicians and filmmakers and such. So my experience has always been that Americans are very smart, very kind, very compassionate. But of course, this is my experience, which is very limited. I have not been around the country, and which I'm sure it's not a constellation of creative people. And on top of it, I think that most humans are pretty lost. So this is not an American thing. I think humanity as a whole has been on a down curve of, I heard this on Netflix, I think, or somewhere the other day, that there is a crisis, not in economical, not political, not ecological, but there is a crisis of consciousness, and I think that's what's happening. I think there's definitely a crisis of consciousness. Humans have a lot of growing and learning to do, and it's not that I'm excluding myself from this. I definitely am trying to grow and awaken more each day and be more awake as a human being, and contribute more to the collective conscious. But yeah, I think it's another big subject. I definitely, as far as do I let Lottie watch videos, she started at 19 months. I started letting her watch TV because I can't necessarily occupy her 100% of her time. Sometimes I have things to do. I'm pretty busy at work, and that's a compromise that I'm willing to make. Before 19 months, she didn't watch any TV. I thought I'll be able to sustain it, but it's been pretty challenging, and we found some good solutions because I only speak to her in Bulgarian. So one of you told me actually to not speak to her in English, only in Bulgarian, otherwise she'll become lazy about Bulgarian and she will understand it but won't speak back. So basically someone told me to respond to her only when she addresses me in Bulgarian. We're not quite there yet. She speaks both interchangeably, but I only speak to her in Bulgarian. So she watches some really cute TV show called Word Party on Netflix, and she's actually picking up more words from there than she's been picking up, of course, from me, because I try to stick to the Bulgarian rule as much as I can. And she's learning, and it's a okay compromise. She loses interest in it quite quickly, so we put it on when she wants to, and then after a while she's off somewhere else drawing or doing something else. So it hasn't been that big of a worry for me. Of course, I would prefer it to be no TV at all, but I still live in the real world, so that's the real world for me. I'm okay with that. Let's take the next one. My assumption is you may have experienced some adversity or pain at a young age. That is why you're so spiritually enlightened. And you guys know me. Yeah, that is totally true. I had a very turbulent, painful teenagers. I had the most amazing childhood. My childhood was phenomenal. My teenagers were torturous, and I had to find a way to escape how I felt, and I escaped towards the end of my teenagers. I found such profound spirituality that it was absolutely, it brought the light into my life, and the sunshine and the colors and the beauty and everything. It was a necessary experience. I guess you have to go through hell to find heaven or something like that. So for me, yeah, it has been a painful path to spirituality, and yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I did experience a lot of pain, and that led me on a path of spirituality and finding that ecstatic connection to the divine, which the beauty is, it's always within, we always have access to it, and that is the beauty of it. So I guess suffering does lead to something beautiful after all. My assumption, next one. My assumption is you're super stubborn and you never go to a doctor. I would say yes, I'm super stubborn and I don't go to a doctor. That's pretty good. You guys know me. So yeah, I don't go to a doctor. I've been pushed to a place where I had to go get testing done when I was going through mold exposure. I never found answers through all the testing I did. I went to a rheumatologist because my joints were hurting, and I went to infectious disease doctor for Lyme's disease and all of that, and we didn't find quite what it was. They just said autoimmune. So I didn't find answers, but it took a lot of, I had to get pushed to go to a doctor. Otherwise, I always have the attitude that I'm the healer and I first have to be in tune with myself That's a good assumption though. The next one is you don't use bad swear words. Mostly not. I try not to, but yeah, I do say, well, I use swear words a little more than you would expect me to, but overall I try not to. It's not like I'm not like one of those people that constantly curse, but also I do use some swear words sometimes, or yeah. The next one is you're not against sweet. Yeah, if it's not a massive addiction, obviously it's fine. If as the person goes into paranoia, and then it becomes a little detrimental to the person, but I'm not against what my friends do or whatever. I would support my friends no matter what. You don't shout. Okay, so that's true. I don't yell or shout, but that's a big but. If I'm on the street and someone is being unfair or triggers me in any way, encroaches on my space or freedom, or there is something going on, I'll be the first to jump in, to become super like aggressive or loud, or like I would be the first to go in. I have Mars in Aries, and it comes out of the woodworks because my ascendant is in Taurus, so I have this graceful Venusian external quality to me, so I look kind of slow and relaxed and grounded, which I have that side of me, but also internally I have Mars in Aries, lots of fire. So if I feel that there is a fight happening, I'm there. Like if someone is usually, if it's something unfair, if there's some action happening, it just I can quickly organize myself and be in the midst of it and fight for freedom. But yeah, I can be pretty loud in those situations, and it's quite surprising to everybody because my exterior does not suggest that I have anything in Aries. I don't think you look at me and you think Aries. You look at me and think, oh, she's slow, she's luxuriating on her armchair or something like that. She's doing her hippie wine stuff, chocolate. All right, next. I assume that your life is extremely peaceful. There you go, the Taurus exterior. Happy, and that you have no problems. I know this isn't true, but you make life look effortless. Life look effortless. Wow, thank you. Or at least you make chaturanga look effortless. All right, the second maybe. Yeah, of course. I mean, you answered it. You're just being very sweet and cute. Fields of Dreams, 26. That's a beautiful name. Of course, it's not extremely peaceful. I strive for peace. I really search for peace. I have a need for peace. I look for it. I try, but that doesn't mean that it always happens. I have periods in my life that do feel peaceful, but there is always challenges. Life is always challenges, and what can I say? Yes, you know how it is. We all go through the same thing. All right, last one. Katie June. Again, such a beautiful name. My assumptions are that you're lovely. I'm not gonna argue with that. Am I supposed to say no now and be modest? I'm kidding. I don't know where you get it from, but your presence on social media is so grounding and delightful. Again, we're going back to that whole Taurus thing. And also, another thing is I have Moon in Capricorn on medium quelling, that's astrology. So it's a little advanced here, but that means, in basic words, it means that my most visible part of my chart, where people see me, especially in my career, which is a yoga teacher, I have Moon there. So you see the nurturer in me. And I mentioned earlier that I don't necessarily see myself as a nurturing energy or presence. Yeah, I like food and I like to cook and make healthy things or smoothies or whatever, but I look at some women that are extremely motherly and nurturing, and I feel like I don't have that in me. I feel that I'm not that particular energy. But anyways, my Moon is on my career sector, the most visible side. So in my career, I will definitely be the nurturer, be the moon, be the motherly energy. So, and then you see the groundedness. Both of those signs, Capricorn and Taurus, they're very grounded. So you tend to see that side of me. Of course, I have the other sides, the dreamer side, the fiery side, the action side, the fighter side, whatever, but you mostly see the ascendant and the medium coeli. So most of you see a lot of that side of me, and it's not that it's a fake side or it's a surface side, it's not that, it's part of me. I don't pick and choose how people perceive me, and I also don't choose how to put myself out there. I just put myself authentically out there, and you see a certain side of me which is explained by astrology. I like to do psychology through astrology, but thank you that you're seeing that side. It's an absolute compliment. Of course, I don't know that it comes off that way, and obviously it doesn't come off that way to everybody, but I'm grateful that there is a few people that I can bring yoga classes that are grounding to. And my best friend, and that's just the ending of this same one, my best friend and I are so grateful for your classes and other videos, curious to see how this one turns out. Love and light, Ali. So thank you. This one turned out very complimentary, and I just had to humbly move through it. Everybody was so sweet and nice, and honestly there wasn't any weird assumptions that obviously you could assume all kinds of things, but everybody is so polite because that is the type of community we are in. It's a very supportive, very beautiful community where we try to operate on a different level of consciousness, and it really takes the conscious choice to move from a different place in the world and in life, and to just tap into different energy within yourself. So thank you all. It's such a beautiful, this assumption about me was more like a showcase of what my community, this community is. It wasn't really about me, it was more about you and how beautiful you are. So thank you all for these assumptions. I think it was kind of a light, cute, fun tag. If you have other questions, post them below, and I'll do another Q&A. And what else I have planned is some face exercises, face massage stuff, things that are kind of, again, tutorial based, but more beauty or something like that related. All right, so I'll see you soon. Thank you all again. I'm very blessed and grateful for you, and I can express that enough, and I'll see you soon. Namaste.